joining me today is the luminous as ever Tamannaah Bhatia. Hello and welcome, Tamannaah.
Hi Shilpa, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you here and good to see you on the small screen with November Story that's just released.
Thank you so much. And we're really grateful to all the audiences who've poured in with such lovely comments and such positive feedback. It's been highly encouraging for all of us because, this show was in the making for 2 years. It was pre-pandemic that we started filming. So I'm just happy that, finally that people have been able to see it. And especially because it's come in such a time where it's just a very difficult time in general for everyone, uh, especially in our country right now, because the situation is so bad, and we hear of things every day which are just, it's beyond our understanding and imagination. So yeah, I'm just hoping that this content is here, at least keeping people engaged and entertained while they're at their homes and they're isolating, or they're I mean, most of us are in lockdown, so we're just, kind of managing time and passing time somehow.
Well, I hear many of them have been binging on the series, a mini series. It's been perfect for a weekend binge, is what I hear. It's come out in Tamil, Telugu, and Hindi. Telugu and Hindi, of course, are dubs, and the Tamil is the original.
Yes.
I'm sure you're asked this all the time. With web series, even with the 11th hour, and especially with November Story. There's so much a space to flesh out your character, perhaps more gravitas than it would receive in a commercial film. So, what was that experience like?
I think right now, looking at the way we are all going as actors now, there is a sense of feeling that we need to really work towards only and only content. It has nothing to do with what has been our image or what people have thought about us or think about us as actors. It's all about just creating, content that is something that they can relate to today. So, my entire quest with the content that is being churned out right now, or whatever we've been trying to make, is all just stories that are relatable, stories that are engaging. Because whether we like it or not, our attention span is getting shorter and shorter because we are exposed to all different kinds of content thanks to social
And
media.
everyone watches something and is also on their phone. So, it's like two screens all the time.
Exactly. So there's a lot of pressure on us as content creators and as performers to constantly make something that engages you. And when I was narrated November Story, I myself am guilty of having a very short attention span. And I was really hooked on while I was hearing it, and I knew that this has the potential to be a show that people are going to enjoy and people are going to get hooked on to. So yeah, I'm just glad that whatever I thought of it at that point, it's turned out exactly that, and the credit goes completely to the director and writer Indra Subramaniam, and my cinematographer Vidu, who's got amazing reviews for the way he's the look and feel of the show.
Well, absolutely. And like you mentioned, this was shot in 2019.
Yeah.
Before most of it was completed by March 2020 is what I read as well.
Yeah.
So considering it's been in the cans for 2 years, cans so as to speak, for 2 years, do you think the reception would have been different if it came out last year, or do you think it's timed right now that it's come out?
Fortunately for the genre of show it is, and for the way it's written. First of all, I feel it's not written in your traditional Indian format. I felt when I heard it itself, it was a lot like the web shows we've seen internationally.
Yes.
So first of all, that was the narrative itself is very universally written, and then I feel like the characters and the relationships are again a very universally relatable emotion. Like there's a father and a daughter bond that's being explored. There is a father and a child that was that is the story which I should not be revealing for who hasn't seen the show. I feel like there's so much the emotions are all very very universal. So I feel like didn't matter whether it was released 2 years ago or today. I think it's probably better it's released today because whatever said and done, we are all stuck at home, and a lot of people are in lockdown. And what do you do, right? Beyond the point, you need to do something to kill that time. So at least it's come at a time where we need to kill our time, and we have something to watch to do that.
Well, you started acting when you were 15 years old, so I'm sure nothing by now was too difficult for you, considering, you've had time to master it. But at all, did you find this role challenging in any way?
Oh, I cannot explain to you that it is as or maybe even more difficult than it was. They say ignorance is bliss. So as you grow older, you realize your mistakes a lot more clearly, and everything seems a lot bigger than it was when we were younger and kids. Um, but yes, I feel like there are new facets of me as a person also that I'm exploring while I play these characters. So it's an expression of that also. It's also the new evolved version that I am as a person will somewhere reflect in the characters I play. So for me, my growth as an actor is also maybe like a testimonial of what I am growing as an individual, because the kind of cinema say I liked at 15, I might not like that kind of cinema anymore, or I might not relate to it or associate to it.
Yeah.
So I feel like that change has just happened naturally, and now I myself consume very different content. So I feel like I'm hoping that I evolve with times, because I think that is the only way to survive as an actor today. If you want to be there, you have to just evolve, and you have to be ever evolving.
Well, absolutely. And you have been evolving through languages, to genres. And right now, you have a line of releases waiting. You have Siti Mar, you have Maestro, you have Gurtunda Sitakalam, F3 Bole Chudiya is one of your only Hindi releases. And then you have that is Mahalakshmi again in Telugu. So you really have a lot on your plate currently, Tamannaah.
Yeah, there is a lot of some of the films have unfortunately been stalled because of the pandemic. Some are under production because most of the other shootings are over and the new ones need to be shot. um, Maestro is a remake of Andhadhun, so the Telugu version of it. So that is something that, so most of my releases are Telugu in language, but I have two very exciting announcements that I want to make, which are pan India.
All right.
And but I mean, of course, I have to hold back till they are officially made. But I'm super excited because apart from the releases that are in are going to eventually happen one after another, I feel I really resonate with the work I'm doing now. And I feel like I'm able to give it a lot more. You know, there's another side to me that I'm able to bring out. So I'm really enjoying this phase of my career.
Well, you are strong, you're independent. Am I going to be seeing you producing or directing?
Direction, I don't think I have the I don't have the bandwidth to do that. I think, at least at this point, I can't imagine myself doing it. But I think, yes, I think at some point, every actor, once they have been able to amass a certain amount of bankability, I think it is natural to want to produce. So I guess in the near future I will attempt that. When I get a project where I feel like I can contribute to it in that sense. So yeah, that is definitely on my mind.
All right. And now we are all stuck at home watching November Story. What is Tamannaah watching at home?
I myself just watched the show. So just like you guys, I'm also consuming it only now
Did you
while
watch
you
it
all are
in the
consuming
original
it.
language? Did you watch it in Tamil or the dubbed ones?
I've seen the Hindi version, primarily
Oh,
because I was watching it with my parents, and I know that they will understand Hindi, so I watched it with them. I'm yet to watch it in Tamil and Telugu, but I'm sure I'll watch it in all the languages because I want to see how it's looking and sounding. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of shows. Yeah, I either watch shows or I end up watching. I also like watching a lot of short videos which are inspirational.
yeah.
I like to watch a lot of Sadhguruji's videos. I end up watching a lot of his videos because, especially in these times that we are in, anything that's uplifting. I remember I just watched I watched Wonder Woman, the new one.
WWE.
I'm actually quite a kid. I watched Aladdin. I have a little bit of a Disney. hangover in me, which
And
is
you have
always going
and
to
the
be
shows
there.
on Disney Plus Hotstar.
Yes, I am very loyal to my
Well, you're loyal to your brand, so that's
I'm very
perfect.
loyal to my, but I'm also a big I'm a big kid. I love watching bache wala content because I
Yeah,
feel like that keeps us rooted to our imagination, keeps us
yeah.
rooted to our the childlike innocence. I
Curiosity,
feel
yeah.
like that really helps somehow.
You know, earlier this year we had the paparazzi follow you everywhere. You were splashed across papers, and this was you going to the gym or you doing something of that sort. So we were all expecting like some announcement to be made very soon about some project. So was it in a build up to that, and will that announcement be coming soon?
Yes, I mean, I have spent a lot more time in Mumbai than what I have done in the past few years, and there are pan India announcements that I want to make, but I have to hold back right now because of the pandemic, and
As you mentioned,
everything is kind of gone into the back burner because we want first everyone to be safe and happy and healthy, because if we are all in the right state of mind, can we make this content, can we enjoy making this content, enjoy living this content and showcasing it. So I feel like because of the times we're in, being super sensitive to it, and also taking care of our own mental health right now, because I think that's very underrated. And I was watching something which was regarding the mental health of frontline workers right now, because they are literally in the midst of it, and they are so I feel like these things really matter, and they're not so spoken about, but I feel like for us as an individual, it's important to be sensitive to all of that.
oh, that's beautiful, Tamanna. I really hope the world heals, that we heal as a country, and that then you can go ahead and make your announcements without fear and your projects without fear. But until then, keep that inner child within you alive and happy. Thank you
Thank you
so much
so
for
much.
joining me today, Tamanna. Lovely to
Pleasure talking to you and meeting you. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.